Good morning. I hope you are doing well. Hasn't this weather been fantastic? And today, if you have a chance, it is beautiful out. So please try and get outside and enjoy at least a little bit of this sunshine. Today is Women of the Bible Wednesday, and we're going to look at the story of a young woman who unknowingly changed the direction of history. And we don't even know her name. We find her story as we continue on in the book of Exodus. And we read how after Pharaoh's plan to have the midwives murder all newborn Hebrew boys fails, he mandates that all males under the age of 2 be drowned in the Nile River. Imagine the panic, fear, heartbreak these Hebrew families must have been going through. But Moses' mother Jochebed finds a way to keep Moses alive. It's a drastic, crazy, fantastically ingenious plan. She will build a waterproof basket and float him down the Nile, hopefully to safety. Sure, it's risky, and he might not make it. In fact, she's going to need a miracle from God to make this whole thing work. But she can't bear to let the Egyptian guards take her son from her and kill him. So she'll take that chance. Anyway, after somehow keeping him quiet for several months, which is a miracle in itself. I mean, how she kept a newborn hidden and quiet is beyond me. But finally, the basket is ready. And interestingly, as I shared with my congregation when I spoke on Jochebed, the name the Bible uses for this basket is the same word used for Noah's Ark. And these are the only 2 times we see this word used in the Bible. Awesome, right? Here we have 2 vessels meant to keep life going. So, with the baby safe inside and her heart beating outside of her chest, Jochebed places him in the bulrushes that line the river's edge. She probably knows this is a spot where Pharaoh's daughter bathes. Posting her daughter Miriam as a sentry, she walks away. I can only imagine the tears that fell and the prayers that were said as she left her firstborn son in the hands of God and the Nile River. Well, Jochebed was right. Her prayers were answered, because sure enough, Pharaoh's daughter does come to bathe and notices the basket. And when she opens it, she sees a baby. And even though she knows he's a Hebrew baby, she decrees that he shall be raised in the palace. Immediately, Sister Miriam emerges from the bushes to say, "Hey, I have someone available to nurse this baby for you." And she agrees, and Miriam fetches Jochebed, who brings Moses back home. Now, Jochebed knows she won't have him forever. But these first few years must have been full of love and joy and teaching, and probably a lot of suppressed tears. Well, finally, at about the age of 7, Moses is brought back to the palace, where he will live and grow up and be educated in Egyptian ways. And what we see is that in a strange way, he ends up with 2 moms. The first, who gave birth to him. The second, who gave him new life. The thing about this story is that when Moses' mother floated that basket down the Nile, it could have gone really badly. Pharaoh's daughter or his guards could have had Moses' head bashed against the rocks like we read in Psalm 137:9. No doubt her father would have probably been pleased by that. Or she could have tossed that basket deeper into the Nile where the crocodiles lurked, waiting for their next meal. But she doesn't do that. And I picture her in the sunlight, this beautiful, dark-skinned young woman, her bare feet in the water, her servants standing with her, their arms filled with towels and scented oils and soap, her shining black hair cascading over her shoulders as she bends down to open the basket's lid. Perhaps Moses grabbed that hair with his tiny fingers. Perhaps he looked into her face and smiled. We don't know. But what we do know is that somewhere in her life, she learned compassion. And that makes her even more beautiful to me. Obviously, Pharaoh's daughter immediately fell in love with the child and interceded on his behalf to her father. You know, it's amazing to me that a king who feared the Hebrews usurping his throne so much that he ordered the murder of all their baby boys would allow his daughter to raise one in his household. How very telling of their relationship. Clearly, Pharaoh loved his daughter very much too. And she loved this baby. And in time, so would he. She names the baby Moses, which means I drew him out of the water. And like the midwives before her, she too has saved Moses once again. And because of her kindness, this action will prepare the way for Moses to become a kind of midwife too, as he will in time deliver his people from the bonds of slavery and death into a life of freedom and wholeness. Isn't that amazing? But I want you to remember something. See, by saving Moses, Pharaoh's daughter's actions will eventually bring pain and suffering to her own people. Because when Pharaoh refuses to heed Moses' command to let the Israelites go, God will strike them down with 10 plagues, and the last and worst one resulting in the death of Pharaoh's own firstborn son. But Pharaoh's daughter didn't know that when she saw this basket and that baby. All she knew was that her heart was filled with compassion and love. And in that moment, she did the right thing. And we see from all of this that God works in all sorts of people. Those who know him and pray to him and trust him, and those who don't. In fact, sometimes in places where darkness seems invincible, the light of mercy can still break through where you least expect it. And my friends, that fills me with hope. We don't know anything else about Pharaoh's daughter, but legend has it that in 1488 BC, when Moses is 40 years old, Pharaoh's daughter converts to Judaism. Wouldn't that be awesome if it were true? I'd like to think that it is. Now, my friends, continue staying safe. Please get vaccinated and encourage those who aren't to get their vaccine. It's safe and effective and the way to keep this virus at bay and eventually get rid of it. And please have a great rest of the week. And make sure that you take some time to find the blessings. Gosh, they are everywhere. Now, know that I love you and I'm praying for you every single day. Hang in there and God bless you. Peace.